Question 30 is another critical thinking question, and we can see we're being asked which of the following is the best statement of the flaw in the above argument. So let's go through the argument. People wonder whether or not machines could ever become conscious, but it's obvious that one day they will. After all, if consciousness is just the result of the working of the brain, and if the brain is just a complicated machine, what's to stop machines becoming complex enough to become conscious? Every year, machines get more and more complex. It's only a matter of time before they acquire consciousness. So before we go over the potential flaws, let's quickly glance over the argument. We can look to this line here where the crux of the argument is that if consciousness is inferred from the brain, and the brain is just a form of complex machine, why can't another complex machine be conscious? Now this rests on a set of assumptions which we'll see if the flaws challenge. We'll start with A, which says that it's impossible for a machine to ever become conscious. Now, does this highlight a flaw in the argument presented in this line? Well, no, it just seems to be stating the contrary case, that machines can't ever become conscious regardless of this logic. This seems to be making a value judgment on the substance of the argument rather than trying to critique the logical processes, which is what this sort of question normally probes. So we can discount this answer. Now, option B says the argument doesn't specify what a matter of time is, a reference to this line where it says only a matter of time before machines become conscious. Now this argument at any point doesn't make any claims about the timescale in which this could happen. So the matter of time and the timescale it would take is irrelevant to the central thesis of the argument, which is consciousness inferring from the brain and one day machines becoming complex enough to achieve the consciousness that brains have. So we can discount this answer. Now option C says that the argument confuses science fiction with the reality of technological progress. Well, whatever your value judgment of this argument is, it's clear that it's based in technological reality, namely this line which says that every year machines increase in complexity in the real world. So we can discount this answer. Finally, we're left with option D, which must be correct, which claims that the argument depends on unwarranted claims about the mind and brain, focusing back onto the central points of the argument that consciousness infers from the brain, which is a claim unsubstantiated, and also that the brain is a complex machine which can be related to other man-made complex machines, which this statement aptly summarises. So we can say this is our answer.